been a little while since I've presented in front of a live audience. I need to shake off my nerves a little bit and get my next set of slides up. So while we're getting the slides up, Donald just gave you a ton of information. I'm about to dump a whole lot more information on you as well. I don't expect you to remember it all. You're going to hear a lot today. If you take away nothing else from the day, hopefully what you do take away is that you have people. You're not going through this alone. You have the Registrar's office, you have the Office of Student Life, you have upper year student peer mentors, e-mentors who are here to support you as well. This is really what we want you to remember. All the other stuff, we're trying to put these words in your head so that when you look at it again, because all these sessions are being recorded, we've put the Innis one-on-one Quirkus together, we can meet with you one-on-one, put these words in your head so then when we start to go over it again, you'll start to understand it. Really, the whole point of this day is to learn that you have people. Okay. That being said, degree requirements. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to talk today about the Arts and Science Academic Calendar. The Academic Calendar is a comprehensive document that includes all of the rules and responsibilities for you as an undergraduate arts and science student. It encompasses all of the courses that are offered, thousands and thousands of courses that are offered at the Faculty of Arts and Science, the programs that we offer here, the rights, obligations for you as a student. If we were to print this document, which we used to do, it's about, I don't know, 2 inches thick, would you say? Thank goodness, because we used to kill a lot of trees. We don't do that anymore. Okay, for the purposes of the rest of this talk, really I'm going to focus on degree requirements. Because your degree requirements, understanding what your degree requirements are, will inform your course enrollment. And that's really, that's the important thing, because you want to know that you're enrolling in the right courses to pursue the programs that you came here to study. Okay, so when I click on that link that I just had circled, I come to a page that looks like this. And for the purposes of this talk, I'm going to focus on the Honors Bachelor of Arts and Honors Bachelor of Science degree requirements. I know that there are a few commerce students in the room. The reason why I'm focusing on Honors Bachelor of Arts and Honors Bachelor of Science is because there's really only one difference for the commerce students, and when I get to that difference, I'll point it out to you. Okay, so if I click on that link, I get to the 5 degree requirements. That's it, just 5 things that you need to achieve in order to earn your degree. We'll go through each of these line items one at a time, and I'll explain and give you some examples so you know you can understand it a little bit better. So the first item on the list is the number of credits that you need to earn before you can be eligible to graduate. So that number is 20. Courses here are valued at 1 full credit or half a credit, and you take a combination of full and half credit courses to make 20. Often, students come in with the idea that they can finish their degree in 4 years. If that's the case, then during the fall-winter session, you should plan to take 5 credits per year. That's considered 100% enrolled. You don't have to. You could take fewer than 5 credits. To be considered full-time is taking just 3 credits. Honestly, you could take a half a credit a year for 40 years if you wanted to earn your degree. I'm not sure the parents in the room would agree, but you could. There's no minimum number of credits that you can take, that you're required to take, or no minimum length of, maximum, I don't know. There's no length of time that the university places a restriction on you for. So how do you know if a course is valued at a half credit or a full credit? Well, I have 2 examples here. It's all in the course code. So a course code is 8 characters long. The first 3 letters of the course code will tell you the department the course is offered through. The next 3 numbers will tell you the level of the course. We're going to talk about levels of courses in the next slide. The next letter will either be an H or a Y. If it's an H, it means the course is valued at a half credit. The Y means the course is valued at a full credit. The last number 1 just means that this course is taught on the St. George campus. There are 2 other campuses, Scarborough and Mississauga, and their courses end in 3 or 5. Okay, by the way, I welcome questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. I also have time at the end to answer any questions. Okay, so The level of credits, I mentioned levels of credits. We have 4 different levels of credits, 100, 200, 300, and 400. They roughly correspond to your year of study. 100 level credits are considered introductory. 300 and 400 level credits are considered senior level. Most likely in your first year, you'll be taking mostly 100 level courses, and then you build upon that knowledge in your upper years and take the 200, 300, and 400 level courses. In those 20 credits that you need to earn, at least 13 of those credits need to be at the 200 level or higher. And of those 13, at least 6 of those credits need to be at the 300 level or higher. So you've probably worked out by now, if you need 20 credits to be eligible to graduate, 13 at the 200 level or higher, that leaves room for 7 credits at the 100 level. So just be careful. You can take more, but the more number of 100 level credits you take adds to the total number of credits that you'll need to take before you can be eligible to graduate. So if you're coming in with advanced standing credits from AP or IB or GCE, you'll want to be a little bit cautious about the number of first-year credits that you take in year 1. So that could mean that you could take a 200 level course in your first year if it doesn't have a prerequisite or a course you needed to have taken before you could take that course. Or you can build upon your advanced standing transfer credit and take a 200 level credit in your first year, or you can take fewer than 5 credits. There are different ways to work it out. Okay. That covers this slide. Great. So the next item we're going to talk about is programs, but before I get into the required number of programs, I figured I would explain to you what a program is. So programs, also known as programs of study, or by the acronym POST, or a subject post, these are all synonyms, right, Donald? Is the grouping of courses from one or more disciplines. This is your academic focus. This is what you came here to do. So when people ask you, what are you going to U of T to study? I'm going to be a biologist. So biology is your program. Or I'm going to go into international relations. That is your program. So when you were admitted into a broad admission category. Hopefully that admission category includes the program that you're interested in studying. So if you thought you might like to come to study English, you would likely be admitted into the humanities admission category, for example. Okay, you will declare, as a student, you'll declare your program at the end of the academic session in which you've earned your 4th credit. So for most of you, that'll be at the end of your first year here. So that'll be in April 2023. We have 3 different styles of programs: specialist, major, and minor. And at the root of it, the difference among those 3 options is the number of credits that are required to complete it. So if you're pursuing a specialist, you're specializing. It takes the most number of credits out of your 20 to complete that program, anywhere from 9 to 16. And you also have more credits at the upper level, 300 and 400 level. If you're pursuing a major requires fewer credits, between 6 and 8. And then a minor is always 4. So, for your degree requirements, and commerce students, this is where things get different for you. For your degree requirements, you need to complete the courses that are required for at least 1 specialist, or 2 majors, or 1 major plus 2 minors. You can do more than this if you wanted to. You can do up to 3 programs altogether. If you do 3 programs, at least 1 has to be a minor. For commerce students, you don't have this flexibility of choice. You only can do a specialist to earn a Bachelor of Commerce degree. So you have a choice between management, finance and economics, or accounting. You can add minors or another major on top of that from the rest of the Faculty of Arts and Science, but in order to earn that BCom, you have to choose a specialist from one of those 3. Okay, for Honors Bachelor of Arts and Honors Bachelor of Science, you have this choice, and it's flexible. So if at the end of your first year, you decide that you'd like to pursue a specialist, at the end of your second year, you think, oh, I don't want to do that specialist anymore. I actually would like to change that to a major and add a complementary program or something completely different. That's totally okay. You can apply and change your program at the end of your second year as well. I often get asked as an advisor, like, what's better? Should I do a specialist? Or should I do a major and 2 minors or 2 majors? And there really isn't a straightforward answer. A lot of times it depends on what it is that you want to do with it. So if you were to tell me that you wanted to go on to do a PhD in chemistry, then I would say, I think you should probably pursue a specialist in chemistry, because it'll give you more opportunities at those upper year courses, those capstone courses that Donald was talking about, or the research opportunities where you get to develop the kinds of skills that it would be useful in graduate school, and it'll probably make you a more competitive candidate for graduate studies as well. But let's say you wanted to work as a diplomat in Latin America as your career. Maybe doing a major in international relations and a minor in Latin American studies and a minor in Spanish might be more useful for you. So doing a major and 2 minors in that sense is a better option. So a lot of times it depends on what it is you want to do with your degree, or what your interests are, what kinds of programs that we offer here. I'm going to take a quick water break. Okay, so if looking at the academic calendar, remember we were looking at the degree requirements? No. Okay. So now I'm going to focus on the program areas A to Z. So the academic calendar from the homepage, you can see in the upper left-hand corner, program areas A to Z. If you click on that link, you open up a list of hundreds of different programs and departments that we offer in the Faculty of Arts and Science. I really encourage you to scroll through that list because there are some things that you've never heard of that may be really interesting to you. Digital humanities, or of course I can't think of something on the top of my head, sorry? Data science. So other programs that might be more nuanced, that might speak to your interests better than a more broad program. Okay, so scroll through the list, find something that seems interesting to you, click on it, and then you'll see with my example here of anthropology, anthropology offers a whole bunch of different programs. So there may be something even more specific that speaks to your unique interests. And then read up on it and see what kinds of courses are required and see if that interests you. Okay. The fourth degree requirement that we'll talk about is your cumulative grade point average. So this has to do with your grades. Courses here, your marks will come back in terms of percentage. So 50% and higher is passing. Anything below 50% is not passing. These ranges of percentages translate to a letter grade, A through F. And each of those letters has a grade point value on a 4-point scale. So your in this column on the right will ultimately be the most important to you. Your cumulative grade point average is the sum total of your grade point values divided by the number of credits attempted. In order to be eligible to graduate, that calculation needs to come out to a 1.85 or better. At all times, the university expects to be in good standing, that you will maintain at least a 1.5 grade point average or better. If your cumulative grade point average is below 1.5, we can have a chat in the registrar's office, because I don't need to get into the details of academic probation at this time. But 1.85 is what you need in order to be eligible to graduate. Your cumulative grade point average is calculated 2 times per year, once at the end of the fall-winter session, so in May, once all the final exams are done and your grades are in, and then once again at the end of the summer session, the end of August, when if you're taking summer courses. Okay, we get down to the last thing, your breadth requirements. So Donald talked a bit about breadth requirements in his presentation earlier. Breadth requirement is your general degree requirement. So we have a huge variety of courses from across the humanities to the sciences. Everybody, commerce students, Honors Bachelor of Arts, Honors Bachelor of Science students, everybody needs to fulfill this breadth requirement. All of the courses in the Faculty of Arts and Science are categorized into one of these 5 broad subject headings. And just looking at the titles of these subject headings, you can probably get a sense of what kinds of courses would fall under which area. So if you were to take a course under BR or breadth category 5, you can expect that they might be computer science or physics or chemistry or math. Living Things in Their Environment has courses for biology, environmental studies. Society and its institutions would be courses from history, political science, sociology. Thought, belief, and behavior would be religion, philosophy, psychology. And creative and cultural representations, cinema studies, English, other languages, art. these kinds of courses would fall under here. So in order to fulfill the breadth requirement, at some point within your 20 credits, you need to earn 1 full credit in 4 out of these 5 categories, or 1 full credit in 3 out of the 5, plus a half credit in each of the other 2. So if you're like me and would do anything to avoid breadth category 5, you can do that. You just make sure you take 1 credit in the other 4 categories. Also know that courses that you take towards your program also help to satisfy your breadth requirements. So let's say you're a life science student, you'll be taking a full year of biology, you'll be taking a full year of chemistry in your first year. Well, that takes care of breadth categories 4 and 5 without even thinking about it. You're already 50% of the way there. See, math is not my strong suit. Okay, but also the university understands that not everybody is good at everything. And there are courses that fall under breadth category 4 and 5 that are geared towards students in the humanities and social sciences, and I'll have a few examples in an upcoming slide for you. Okay, so how do you know what courses fall under which breadth category? Well, here's a couple of examples here that I pulled right from the academic calendar. Hungarian 100, the course I strongly recommend. It's a full credit course, and we know this because there's a Y in the course code. No surprise, it's a language course, so it falls into breadth category 1. Anthropology 100 is another, it's an interesting example because it's another full credit course, but it actually straddles 2 different breadth categories. So it falls under half credit, it becomes a half credit of breadth category 4 and also a half credit of breadth category 3. And this other example, the MGT 100, the management course, is the half credit in breadth category 3. So remember I mentioned, oh, sorry, yes, question. Yes, we're going to talk about that in the next session. There's a number of class time hours that are required for the course, but good question. Okay, so remember I mentioned that there are some courses that are designed for students in other admission categories where you can fulfill this breadth requirement without having to take a lab or do some serious math. There's language in the course description that will guide you towards understanding that, oh, this might be a course for me to help fulfill that breadth requirement. So the magic of physics, first of all, it doesn't sound so scary. The magic of physics, in the parentheses there, it says it's primarily designed for students to fulfill the breadth requirement. In fact, under exclusion, those are first year physics courses with labs. If you've taken those courses, you're actually excluded from taking this magic of physics course. It's really not meant for science students. This 200 level chemistry course, again, same thing. It excludes all of the 100 level chemistry courses, and it says right in the course description, this course is intended for students with no science background. And here's another example, breadth category 4, the environmental studies course. It's designed to help fulfill this science literacy for humanities and social science students. So really look for language like that in the calendar, in the course descriptions, and know that if that's not your natural your admission category, then this might be a good course for you to help fulfill breadth requirements. Okay, so here we're going to try an experiment. We're going to go directly into the calendar. Hope I don't lose my presentation. I have tech help right on my side. Yes. Please hold. Experiencing some technical difficulties. Does anyone have any questions in the meantime? Oh, never mind, time's up. All right, okay, got it working. All right, so here's the Arts and Science calendar. Here's the degree requirements that I mentioned earlier. Here's that program areas, A to Z. It's not working. Hold. Okay, great. So if I were to scroll, here we go. Okay. So you can see this huge long list, and we can keep scrolling down. I want to point out the first year foundations you can find under F. It's not working. Trust me when I say this, that if you click on this and it does actually work for you, you'll see a list of hundreds of different courses that are all first year foundation courses. And you know they're first year foundation courses in the 3 digits in the course code start with 195, 196, 197, 98, 199. Okay, this doesn't appear to be working, so I was going to use urban studies as an example. If I click on it, it doesn't open it up. That's okay. Let's go back to my presentation. We'll get out of this, and then if we can go back, if you can bring me back to my slides, that'd be great. Okay. Don't worry, don't fear, because in the timetable presentation, we'll be going through this as well, using the calendar to choose your courses. If you clicked on that, you would see the different programs that are offered in the Arts and Science calendar under that department. And then if you open that up, it'll actually say to you, here are the first year courses that you need to take. So it's all laid out sequentially. Okay. So using the calendar to choose courses, I'm sorry that that didn't work for for me to give you a live demonstration. First, when you're thinking about what courses do I choose, first choose courses that relate to any program in which you're interested. Use that A to Z list. Trust me, it works on your home computer. Use that A to Z list to help you. I would strongly recommend that you come up with at least 3 or 4 different programs that you think that you might be interested in pursuing, and make a list of the first year required courses for those. Next, consider any special opportunities like the first year foundation courses, the first year foundation courses at Innis, or the ONES program courses. These are only available to first year students. So if you miss the boat and think in second year, oh gosh, I wish I had taken this course, it's not available to you. It's only available to first year students. So really consider those courses in your first year. Don't take more than one credit worth, because they don't contribute to program requirements. Third, if you have room in your schedule and you think, okay, well, I don't know what else to take, we'll see about maybe fulfilling a different breadth requirement than the other courses that you're already planning on taking fulfill. And then last, any other elective. And an elective is a course that you elect to take. Hungarian 100, for example, a course that you're not planning on pursuing a program in, but a course that you're taking just for the sake of learning it. I'm going to build up that Hungarian program. Okay, so to summarize, choose a few different programs in which you may be interested. prioritize the first year required courses for the programs and then pick electives, right? To make it a priority to choose any programs you want first and then choose electives to fill in your schedule. Rank your courses, your chosen courses in order of priority for your course enrollment day. We'll talk about that in greater detail in the next session because courses do fill up. There is a limited number of space in the classrooms, right? So you want to make sure that you get a space in the courses you need first over the courses that you want just as an elective. Balance your course load for both terms. Question. You will not forget this date by the end of this day, but it'll be July 21st is the course enrollment day for all first-year students. That is a date. So you'll remember lots of things. You'll forget a lot of things, but that is a date that you will remember. July 21st is your course enrollment day. So balance your course load. If you're taking 5 credits worth of courses, make sure that you're taking 5 courses per term. And then connect with your people. Connect with the registrar's office. We're here to help. Connect with departmental representatives. Each department has an undergraduate advisor who's intimately familiar with the courses that that their department offers. If you're not sure between programs, I'm a generalist, right? So students might ask me, what's the difference between biological chemistry and biochemistry? I don't know, they both sound the same to me. Go to the departments because the departments can tell you, right? Don't they sound the same to you? Go to the departments because the departments can tell you specifically what their program is all about. Okay, oh, and here's the question slide. Perfect time. Yes, question. That's right. So yes, they can be used for breadth requirements. The foundation courses are not related to any specific program. Each department offers 3 or 4 different first-year foundation courses. The colleges offer ONES program courses, but they're not related to any particular program. They all count for credit. They all count as a breadth requirement. That's a good question, and the answer is not so straightforward. So for the ONES programs, all of the different ONES programs are exclusive of each other, which means that if you are taking Innis ONES courses, you're excluded from taking ONES program courses from other ONES programs. The first year foundations, they may have exclusions. They will all say in the course listing in the timetable if there are exclusions. They have exclusions to other ONES programs, other first year foundation courses. So it's not a simple answer, unfortunately. Question, yes. That's a great question. For those of you who might not have heard, the question is, are you limited to taking only Innis ones, or can you take other college ones? You are not limited in any way. This is actually a broader answer. You're not limited to just Innis ones. You're not limited to, or you're not excluded from other programs that may be sponsored by other colleges as well. So Innis College, we sponsor urban studies and writing and rhetoric. But any student affiliated with any college can pursue those programs, just as you can pursue programs that are sponsored or supported by other colleges as well. And the same thing with the ones. You had your hand up first. Yes. So the question is, if you're looking to take your courses, are they going to be required for your future programs? Yes, and actually that's exactly what you want to think about when you're choosing your courses. First, read through the program description in the calendar, and it'll lay out for you exactly these are the courses that you need to take, either to be admitted into the program and you apply for it at the end of your first year, or courses that are required to fulfill those 8 credits towards that major. But yes, there are specific required courses, and there are many programs that are limited enrollment, and they require you to take those first year courses, perhaps earn a certain mark in those courses before you can get in. I saw a hand up here first, yes? Yes, so we're going to talk about the lecture hours and tutorial hours in the next session, but yes, that's the number of class time hours that are required for the course. Yes. So yes, and you can pursue up to the minimum requirement is one specialist, two majors, or one major plus two minors, but you can do more than what is minimally required. You can do up to 3 programs, with no more than 2 of those being a specialist or a major. So if you're pursuing 3 programs, at least one of those programs has to be a minor. We have time just for maybe 1 or 2 more questions in the back there. So it is possible to take more than 20 credits. You likely will be able to fit 2 majors and 1 minor within 20 credits. Also, primarily because there are programs that have overlapping courses. So if you're, let's say you're doing 2 programs in, let's say you're doing math, a math major and a statistics major. Well, they both require linear algebra, they both require calculus, so those courses you would take once and apply to 2 different programs. But these are details that we will get into much greater depth in our next session. Yes. So if you change faculties, you actually change requirements, degree completion requirements entirely.